Hello everyone. Let us meet Anuj Jaisinghani, founder and CEO of Gurshabad. Let us talk to him and know his journey, his accomplishments, milestones, and successes. Gurshabad is India's premier localization enterprise, providing a full bouquet of services under one roof. It is a team of language experts providing cutting-edge language services like translation, transcription, interpretation, subtitling, language training, and dialect coaching. Currently, they are catering to 30 plus languages. Welcome to the show, Anuj.
Thank you, Lalita ji, and good evening.
Good evening. I would like to start by asking you about the name of your company, Gurshabad. Am I pronouncing it correctly?
Yes, fortunately you are, because a lot of people say Guru Shabd, some people say Gur Shabd, but yes, the correct pronunciation is Gurshabad. Yeah.
Okay, so please tell us about it. How did you coin this name? I mean, coin this name means why did you decide this name for your company?
Yes, when we were starting the company in 2016, we had several options. So one of the options, there were several options like, one was the language bridge. Then another one was bridging language gaps. But we wanted to have a name because one is it is an Indian company. So we wanted to have an Indian name. And second is we wanted to have a name which generates some amount of curiosity, and also a name which conducts or conveys what we do. Okay, so Gurshabad is just that. Gur means guru or creator, and the word Shabad means the words which we speak. So we've been created by the same creator, but we speak different words. So our plan as a company is to bridge those language gaps globally, and that's why the name Gurshabad. Yeah.
Very nice. Very nice.
Thank you.
So when did you start this enterprise?
So we started this in 2016 November. So I along with my wife, we started this. She is the co-founder, and so she is from the media background. I have done my engineering. So my background is into engineering. And at that time, we were also looking to, we were offering services, but to big companies, like, for example, Google, Amazon, even in Indian companies like HCL, Godrej and all, they are more likely to collaborate with companies rather than with individuals. So we saw the need to start a company, and we saw a lot of gap which was there in the market with respect to the quality of language services which were being offered. So we started the company in 2016.
Okay, great. The word localization is heard a lot.
Yes.
So I would like to know about it more. If you could explain.
Yes. So I'll probably give you an example. Okay. Sure. So for example, you're from India. The same dish may be called by different names, right? Like when I'm from Mumbai, so a local delicacy which is eaten throughout the year is pani puri. Right. And if the same thing, if you go to Bengal, it's called puchka. Okay. And if the same thing, if for example, once I went to Nagpur for some training, so they asked me that, will you have something which is called gupchup? Now I didn't really know what is gupchup, right? Until I came to know it's the same thing as pani puri, because when you eat it, you can't really speak. So you're chup. That's why it's called gupchup. Yeah. So the same term, the same sort of expression, if not expressed in the local culture, its essence is lost out. So that's the difference between localization and translation. So, for example, if we get like a movie script, right, which has to be translated, or the voiceover has to be done from English to, let's say, Bengali. Right. But if we don't put the Bengali language nuance into it, or if we don't, use a native Bengali artist to do it, that's where it's being lost. And that's where, fortunately, machine translation has not been able to catch up with human translation so far, because it cannot give you that edge of localization. So localization, to answer your question, is a translation, but expressed with keeping the local culture, the local sensitivity, sentiment, and also the end usage in mind.
I see. So customizing the translation to the end user or the end country or local.
Correct. That's right.
Great, great. You handle a lot of Indian and international languages. So is it challenging to find the right translator or the content creator for it?
Yes, sometimes it's very challenging to find the right translator. Like currently, we are looking for a person who has done French MC before. So we have an event in next year, which is for a big company, where there are 1,000+ guests who are going to come. So we have a lot of French translators, but the specific requirement is of the company is to find a French MC. So we will eventually find someone. So what we do here at Gurshabad is that we work with native translators only. Right? And that's one of the ways where we can give quality services to the clients. Plus, we work with translators who do domain-specific translation. So, for example, we provide subtitling. So we need someone who has worked on subtitling episodes, movies, media before. So a person who does subtitling, though the language pair may be same Hindi to English, would be different from a person who does script writing in that language, would be completely different from a person who does legal translation. So through our existence of 5-6 years as a company, we have built a pool of around you can say 500+ translators who are based globally in their native zones. So that's how we ensure that we provide the localized quality translation.
Okay, so this service provision by the native person makes a difference, right? For the quality.
That's right. Yes.
Okay. Can you explain to us the various services you offer?
Yes, most of the services are here, as you can see on my screen. But the services which we offer, sorry. Yeah, the services which we offer are starting from something which is simple like transcription, where you and I are speaking and that's converted, speech is converted into text. Next is translation, which is not translation anymore, it's localization, right? Then there is content writing. Now, people want to get their LinkedIn profile written or their website written, blogs, articles, right? Or product descriptions, that comes under content writing. Then there is dubbing and voiceover, right? Where a movie is made or an ad is made, right? And the people on screen would look very nice, but you need the voice to match that. Yeah. So we provide those voiceover services as well, right? Apart from that, we also provide subtitling. Now, a lot of people nowadays watch on the weekends, and the other days they watch the OTTs and the other content which is there online, right? So you would be seeing subtitles below those, right? So that is another service which we provide. Sometimes these subtitles are also used for people who are hearing impaired, right? So that also we do. Subtitles is a very interesting service because if you are only dependent on that language. So let's say, there are very popular shows which are there on Netflix and Amazon, which are made in foreign languages, but I don't really understand the meaning of them. But if I look at the subtitles, then I understand the meaning. So subtitles is another important service. Apart from that, we also provide something which is called dialect coaching. So dialect coaching is, let's say a movie is being made in more than one language. Right. So we send our language experts to those movie sets where they reach over there and they help the cast and crew converse in that language, the accent, the diction, the pronunciation, and so on and so forth. Yeah. And we also provide interpretation. Now, interpretation is when there are two people who don't understand each other's language at all. Let's say a person speaking in Japanese and another speaking in maybe Gujarati, right? So interpretation is a leverage which is used by companies. Let's say companies coming from abroad who want to invest into Indian companies. Or maybe something as simple as you are having you're installing a machine which you have purchased from outside. So the instructions are in a different language, right? So you need an interpreter in between to explain that. These are generally used by pharma companies, by manufacturing companies, and a lot of you can say by chemical companies also. So that's one of the other services which we provide, that is interpretation.
Okay. So while providing these services, do you think AI or machines, they are helping you now than before?
I would say that, see, currently us as a company, we are not using any AI or any machine translation services, and our clients are quite happy with the services that we provide. There are certain scenarios where you want the output, or when companies want the output very quickly and at a relatively lower price. That's where AI or, like you said correctly, machine translation, that's when these things might help. But apart from that, if that is not the requirement, and if the person is really concerned with creativity, then we go with manual translations only through the natives we work with.
Okay, great. Can you share with us some success stories? Because you're providing services to, I think, big production companies in Mumbai.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sure. So recently we have done, like I spoke about voiceovers earlier. So recently we have done a lot of voiceovers for SBI mutual funds.
I see.
Yeah, this was through, we partnered up with another company that is offering them marketing services, right? So what we did was that we did voiceovers for them in 6 Indian languages, which was Tamil, Telugu, Kannada, Bengali, Marathi, and Gujarati. So they came to us with the original, you can say, script or the video, which was there in English, and they wanted this in 6 regional languages. And we provide the end-to-end service. So we don't just translate or not translate, sorry. We don't just localize the script and give it to them. After the script is localized, we also take charge of finding or sourcing the right voice artist. And once that is done, then we also take care that the script and the voice are mixed properly, and the end output or the end result is provided by us. Another very recent success story, in fact, we are doing it right now as we speak, that there is a series on Netflix by the name of Red Notice. So this is a series which is originally in English. It has a very popular character, Dwayne Johnson, who's known as the Rock in the entertainment industry, and it's a story about a few characters, and so that story is being dubbed by us in Mexican, Spanish, and 3 to 4 different languages.
Okay.
So, that work we are doing for Netflix now as we speak. Another recent success story is, so we as a company don't just want to make a name as a big company, and we don't just want to be known as the preferred language service provider. We also want to cause social impact in whatever way we can. So another recent success story is that we got the NABARD came to us through an event management company, and they said we are doing a conference on climate change.
Okay.
So we were really interested to do that. So when the user logs into the conference, he gets an option of clicking on a button where he can select his language. So if he clicks on French, immediately the speech gets translated to French. And if he clicks on Spanish, it gets translated to Spanish, and Hindi and whichever other language. And again, this is not machine generated. We actually have interpreters sitting over there who are capable of doing that once they come to know that the user input is there. And that's another advantage of working with native interpreters. So that's another recent success story. Yes.
That is great. So this team is in-house team, or you are working with freelancers?
No, we have a core team which is in-house, which is the operations team, which is the project management team. We do have a few quality guys who are in-house, but apart from that, it's completely freelance, because we are dealing with around 30 plus languages, right? And to get the right quality in all of them, we need to have experts who are at different stages of their life. Now, some of them are, are industry veterans of more than 30 years, 40 years of experience. So they wouldn't really come to an, office and work daily. They are more comfortable working in their free space. It's like asking a writer to write a novel and then telling him or her that you come to my office and write. So that doesn't happen because, like, you use the word correctly in beginning, which is localization. So for localization, for that creativity to flow, you need to have 2 to 3 I would say tick marks. The first one is you need to be in your own space. Secondly is you need to be comfortable using the devices that you are using, or your dictionaries which you are using, your memories which you are using, right? Which in an office setup is always not possible. And because, like, for example, now we are doing social media translation as well, right? Now social media translation generally would be done by someone who's very young, right, in the age group of 20 to 30 and things like that, because they understand the pulse of people who visit social media, right? Now that's one age group, right? Now if I'm getting, let's say, a book translated, which is an entire effort of 6 months, that would be done by someone who is at least above 50 years of age, because they need to know, one, the subject, second, they need to know the language very well, and they also need to know the target audience very well. So you see the dynamics. So I'm dealing with people from 20 to 30, and I'm also dealing with people from 50 to 60. So that's why that's why we use this model. Yes.
Yes, that is good. But do you provide training or kind of orientation to your teams of these freelancers?
Yes, we do. So we not just to our freelancers, but also to our project managers, because our project managers basically help in seeing or streamlining the work. Like we have, I'll give you an example. So we had a project manager who's joined recently, right? So she is very good at Spanish. Okay, that's her forte. So and she's also very good at Marathi, right? So any work which she gets in these two languages, she's been able to execute successfully. Now she's been working with us for about 45 days now, right? But apart from this skill set, which she's anyways utilizing, she has learned the skill set of proofreading. Okay, she has learned to make SRT files. She is now doing subtitles on her own, which is giving her an extra income apart from what she's earning through her salary in project management. And she's also working on a content rehashing project. So she's also learning content writing, which is in English and Hindi, which is not her domain. So yeah, so we are a very learning centric company.
Okay, great. That is equipping the freelancers also for their work. Yeah.
Correct. That's right. So in fact, we had a freelancer who was doing translation for us for about 10 years now. And he had once approached us saying that, how can I increase my skill set? So we had suggested a few courses and also started a few courses for him online in content writing, where he could learn how to do SEO, how to run the plagiarism check and things like that. And so we always see that, translation is an industry which is very dynamic. And the more skill sets you have, the better it is for you to grow as a translator. So we keep these things in mind also for our team.
That is great. So what are the qualities that you see or you expect that a translator should have? Translator or maybe a linguist, an interpreter, anyone?
So I think because, see, we have a vision as a company. Okay, we want to, when we started off as a company, we had a vision that we wanted to be the preferred preferred choice for localization, right? Just as Google is the preferred choice for search. Similarly, we wanted to be the preferred choice for localization, right? So, I don't know, maybe it's a coincidence. If you see the colors in our logo, they are the same colors as Google. Yeah.
Okay.
So anyway, so what I was trying to say is, so when a client comes to us, why they stick with us or why they come to us in the first place is, one is we are professional. Second is we respond to them quickly. Okay. Third is we give them quality of service. Yeah. Fourth is that we are accountable. And fifth is that we are flexible. Right. So these are the qualities that we desire in our translators as well. So translators, which we work for us, as you would know, the translation, industry or the scene all over Asia, there are several translations or translator options available for each language, right? But translators who generally get the job are the ones who have these skill sets. So these are the ones that we would require in our team or our translators as well.
That's true. And which languages do you know, Anuj?
So I know English, I know Hindi, I know Marathi, I know Sindhi, I know Punjabi, and now I'm starting to learn a little bit of Malayalam as well, because I'm married to a South Indian. So yeah, a little bit of that.
Oh. Yes, you have to learn.
Yes.
Yes. Great. Now, I would like to come to the end of the interview and end it by two very important questions for all of us. What can LSPs do for the language industry? LSPs, language service providers, for those who don't know the short form.
Correct. So I would say that language service providers can do a lot for industries if they start thinking a lot more conscientiously or a lot more consciously. So one of the things that they could do is that they could in their team, hire interns, who want to learn the language.
Okay.
Who want to learn the language, but maybe they don't have the time, maybe they don't have the resources, right? Because language is something that is dying out very fast, especially the regional languages. Like you and I are also having this interview in English, right?
Correct.
Whereas our mother tongues are different, right?
Yes.
So I think that is one thing which we do. Apart from that, which LSPs should also do is that when you are recruiting a language professional, when you're giving a language professional work, okay, we need to be equally accountable to them as we are to our own companies. So a lot of times it happens that a lot of language service providers don't get paid, okay, because of whatever XYZ reasons. Because sometimes translation will not directly impact the bottom line of your company, right? So people are not that easy to release the payment. It happens sometimes, right? So when we take on a work, we need to ensure that the work is not just beneficial or rewarding in terms of monetary gain, but also in terms of the exposure. And not just that, the person who is involved, that person should also get his or her due. Okay. Like you would be knowing that in case of language service providers, it has been many years where a lot of language service providers are working at the same rate. They've not even increased their rate, right? So we need to be, as as company owners, as responsible language professionals, or as LSPs, ourselves, we need to be a little bit more vocal about the fact. Whatever we do, it could be something as simple as putting it on our WhatsApp or our Facebook status. It could be going and speaking in forums. Yeah, that's one more thing. And I would really highly encourage language service providers for themselves to come across, more professionally. Yeah.
Okay.
So because there is a basic barrier or a standard that we have to set. And initially, when the translation industry started, it was like saying yes every time to everyone. Yeah. But I think now we have reached that stage where we can say no if the client is not offering, what we are comfortable with. There's always a little bit of scope for negotiation, but not otherwise, right? So I think that quality should be imbibed in the language service providers as well.
Yes. Very well said, Anuj. Yeah, I think in addition to companies, the individuals can also contribute towards, encouraging this habit and increasing the love for languages among the common man, not only service providers or freelancers.
Yes, definitely. What I would say for individuals is like, it's like there is a saying which says that charity starts at home. Okay. So I'll give you an example. So I am a Sindhi who's managed to marry to a South Indian. Okay. And we have a son who's just a little bit over 5. Right?
Okay.
So we ensure that whatever, because all of us are very busy, the only place which we meet is while eating, while having lunch, dinner, or breakfast. So we ensure that whatever conversation we have with our child, we are having with him only in his mother tongue, which in this case is 2, which is Tamil, Malayalam, and also Sindhi, right?
Yes.
So we ensure that we do that. Okay. Secondly, what I do is that a lot of my relatives whom I speak to, I speak to them only in our language. They initially find it difficult because they start in the language, but then they again come back to English. Right? But I keep on speaking that. Right. Third is a lot of communication which we are doing is in English, whether online, offline, or whatever it is. Right. I think that needs to change more to our any language. It could be regional language, mother tongue, or whatever it is there is. Fourthly, I would say that we should also organize such online or offline meetings where people can come and talk about their literature. Okay. It might not necessarily be in the same language, but at least we come to know the richness of each other's literature. And us living in multicultural or cosmopolitan cities like Mumbai, Pune, and the other cities that are there, I think whatever little we can in terms of using social media to propagate that, the source of communication should be that language.
Yes, absolutely. Great. And what are your future plans? Like adding more services or more languages can be one thing, but any other plans for the future?
So we are into our 6th year as a company now. So one of our future plans is that we have an existing team, right? But to grow that team, we don't want to add more services because we are already offering around 8 to 9 services which are here, right? So we don't wish to offer more services. But yes, what we wish to do is one is that I would say in the next 5 years, which means by the time we complete 10 years, we want to be at least, in, for example, the West zone of our country, which is the West zone of India, right? We want to be the preferred language service provider. Okay, preferred not just in terms of the pocket-friendly prices, but preferred also in terms of the quality of translation which we provide. Secondly, we are hearing a lot about machine translation, artificial intelligence, like you said. So we want to explore that and find out how we can actually utilize that without actually compromising the position of the real translator who does most of the work. So we are looking at automation, but not automation in terms of our execution, but automation in the terms of the management of our process. So that's another thing which we are looking at, and we are definitely looking at increasing our revenue at least 5 times in the next 5 years.
Okay, great. Wish you all the best for that.
Thank you. And we are also looking to support any initiatives which are helping people, for example, getting back to their roots. A lot of people are doing that online on a small scale, but maybe have an industry body, because this has been a pain point of many people, of many LSP especially, is that what they do is that they do a lot of work, but many times, not many times, but several times, they don't get paid their due, or the due which they should be getting, right? So I would say increase the respect of translators in the minds of the people, or at least in the minds of the clients, right? And to have the whole translation industry as a fraternity come across as someone who is an expert at what they do. So something very simple, right? Now, for example, in my house, if something is broken or something is, so I call maybe a carpenter or a plumber, right? And I pay him whatever I feel like or whatever we negotiate at, right? But if I go in a foreign country, I know from my own experience that there is a certain amount which they charge because there is more, dignity of labor. Okay. For want of any other example, I'm giving this example. But what I mean to say is that, that respect of a translator at an expert at his profession still needs to reach in our country. So I think whatever we can do for that as individuals, as communities, we should be doing.
We should, yes. Yes, we definitely will do. Great. It was a wonderful conversation, Anuj. Thank you so much for joining.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Lalitaji, for having us here and giving us a chance to express our views. I've been through your, platform before with the interviews you shared, and I did a little bit of online research. And I think you are having some very engaging and, thought-provoking conversations with all the speakers that are there. I wish you all the best, to keep it going. And I think you all are doing a great job. And yes, do let us know if whatever else we can do, for the translation industry, because as I said, that's one of our visions is to see the translator to be, more of an expert. More of or recognized as more of an expert, more of a professional service provider, and more of a valued, I would say, professional in the economical chain.
Absolutely, yes, we will definitely do something about it.
Yeah.
Okay, great then. Wish you all the best and have a great day.